still making their way in, please fill all available seats and refrain from standing during the ceremony. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Thank you. follow directions of venue staff. photography is prohibited.
Hello, everyone. Are you glad to be here? I thought so. It's wonderful to welcome you to the Spring 2026 Convocation for the College of Architecture, Planning, and Landscape Architecture, or CAPLA. Today, we celebrate graduates from the fall of 2025, as well as the spring and summer of 2026. Congratulations to all the graduates. You are now a part of the Wildcat family. Bear down. You'll get to do that a few more times. My name is Laura Holland-Green. I'm the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs in CAPLA and an Associate Professor in the School of Architecture. And I have the great honor of serving as your Master of Ceremonies for tonight's convocation. We welcome everyone joining us here at historic Centennial Hall and extend a warm welcome to those who are tuning in via live stream, families, friends, and loved ones near and far. As the academic year comes to a close, we celebrate a milestone shaped by creativity, resilience, curiosity, and community. Each of those things challenges us along our journey and prepares us for the opportunities and responsibilities that lie ahead. So let's be especially grateful in this moment for our graduates who are resplendent in their many achievements, and for everyone who is here to cheer them on. Tonight is your night. To begin our ceremony, I do wish to acknowledge those who came before us in this place. We respectfully acknowledge that the University of Arizona is on the land and territories of Indigenous peoples. Today, Arizona is home to 22 federally recognized tribes, with Tucson being home to the O'odham and the Yaqui. The university strives to build sustainable relationships with sovereign Native Nations and Indigenous communities throughout the state through educational offerings, partnerships, and community service. Before we begin in earnest, I have a few requests to make of you in the audience. First, please silence your cell phones so that the people around you can hear what's being said. We secondly ask that you refrain from coming forward to take photos. We have a professional photographer here who will take photos of each student as they come up, and those photos will be available to students and their families after the event for free. And third, we ask that you please remain seated throughout the ceremony, except in case of emergencies. If you need to take a trip to the restroom, or you have a child who's getting bored, or you are feeling overcome yourself, if you need to step outside, please do, but otherwise, please stay in your seat. And finally, enjoy this momentous occasion. So now it's my honor, my great honor, to introduce the Dean of CAPLA, Nancy Pollock-Elwand. Prior to her leadership of this college, she served as Dean of the Faculty of Environmental Design at the University of Calgary in Canada. And before that, she was head and chair of the School of Architecture, Landscape Architecture, and Urban Design at the University of Adelaide in Australia. With expertise in cultural landscape conservation, Dean Pollock-Elwand examines how landscapes reflect our history, identities, and cultural memory, with a particular focus on World Heritage conservation. Locally, she's a board member on the Patronato San Javier, dedicated to the ongoing restoration of the Mission San Javier del Bac, just south of town. Internationally, she has served as co-chair of a UNESCO panel evaluating World Heritage nominations. And currently, she serves in the position of Vice President for the Advisory Committee to UNESCO's International Council on Monuments and Sites. Finally, and most recently, her interest as a landscape architect is going to be shown residing in the origins of her profession in a book that is forthcoming this year from the University of Toronto Press on the landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted, the co-creator of Central Park in New York City. At Kaplan, Nancy has spearheaded our college's transformative journey with 2 robust 5-year plans, strategic plans, which have driven significant expansion in our undergraduate and graduate programs, as you can see here tonight, with the largest number of graduates we've ever had. She's also driven unprecedented acceleration of our research and deepening of our community connections. So please join me in welcoming Dean Nancy Pollock Elwand to the lectern.
You know, I was a little worried that you would be a quiet crowd. I don't think that's going to be a problem tonight. So I'm going to call on you at certain points in my address. But first, I just want to thank Laura for that introduction, and to our students and their family and friends, our faculty who are here, and the staff, and all joining us online. Welcome to the Spring 2026 Convocation of the College of Architecture, Planning, and Landscape Architecture. Graduates, you've made it. Today, we recognize your extraordinary accomplishments. It is also a day to express your appreciation. So let's begin by acknowledging some of the incredible people who have been instrumental in your success. First, to the faculty and the staff who have helped you through the day here, just incredible people who have challenged and mentored and supported you throughout your journey at CAPLA. I thank you, these extraordinary people. Next, to your classmates, your collaborators, your critics, and now your lifelong friends, those who sit beside you tonight, but importantly, were beside you through the long nights that you spent in the studios, the studio critiques, and many, many classes. Thank you to those friends and future peers. And most importantly, to your families and caregivers, partners and friends, those who gave their time, resources, and encouragement along the way. Thank you to those supporters who made all of this possible. Now, this is where it becomes a participatory exercise here. So now, graduates in the audience and on the stage, if you are able, please now stand. Graduates. And I have more instructions. Now can you now turn to your supporters, the faculty, the people around you, get a line on them, and then I'm going to call out after 3 for you to express your appreciation as loud as you can. Now I have to tell you that I test every convocation how loud we get. So I got a feeling that this one might be the loudest. So in the count of 3, have you got your person in line there? And the people, your family and so on, your supporters. So 1, 2, 3, go. Please have your seats, thank you. So, now, As I look upon you this evening, I know there are so many individual stories, unique stories of your inspirational strength, your dedication and resilience. Each story is unique as all of you. And we're going to hear a few of those stories tonight. So all that you have learned over the years of studies will serve you so well now, whether it be for further graduate studies or you might get a job in the public or private sector. Whatever the next step is, please know that entering the built environment fields is extraordinary, where you'll be able to make significant contributions in terms of our community's health and well-being, economic vitality, environmental protection, and societal equity. It's exciting and noble work. At CAPLA, we like to say we are building a better world, and today you stand ready to advance that vision. But I want to give you some concrete examples of what some of these graduates are going to be doing. Just a little laundry list, but there's so many more things. I'll give you some examples. So some of these students will be figuring out how AI can assist in building faster, more affordably, and sustainably. Some of them will be planning a city district that will be a net producer of energy and potable water. Some will be reconfiguring communities for more accessible open spaces, improved public transit, and adaptive reuse of old buildings, as more people are going to be working at home and we'll all be buying things online and autonomous vehicles are the norm. Some will be involved in the development of innovative building materials and systems that will be using such things as 3D printing, robotic and off-site construction methods. And importantly, some will be playing a very essential role in democracy, facilitating public dialogue and policy making that bridges communities and doesn't let them divide. So no pressure here, graduates. But you will do critical work to our collective well-being in the built environment, whether it's in architecture, landscape architecture, real estate planning, heritage conservation, or sustainable built environments. We know we are all in very good hands. Congratulations, class of 2026. Now, I have a special announcement to make as well. I have the pleasure to make a very important announcement, which is, after many years for this college, we have an honorary Doctor of Letters recipient who will receive their distinction tomorrow night at the university commencement in the stadium. And I just want to say, please show up to the stadium. Sit on the west side, because that's the way I'm going to be facing. I want to call you out, and I want you to make as much noise tomorrow in that stadium. It's a Broadway show. You'll have so much fun, so you've got to do it. So what is an honorary doctorate? The University of Arizona honorary degrees recognize distinguished contributions to the university, the state, the nation, or internationally. This year's recipient is United States Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. Through her public service and advocacy, Congresswoman Giffords has made a profound and lasting impact on Tucson, the state of Arizona, and the nation. Giffords began her political career in 2001 in the Arizona House of Representatives before serving in the Arizona Senate and later in Congress, where she championed education, public health, and economic development. As a state senator, she played a pivotal role in preserving the University of Arizona's urban planning program. So for the planners in the crowd, she had a critical role at a very important moment in the history of that program. So thanks in part to her support, the program has since graduated more than 250 professionals, including the ones in the crowd here today who are graduating, and has expanded its impact in areas including water conservation, climate mitigation, transportation planning, and affordable housing. Following the tragic events of January the 8th, 2011, Congresswoman Giffords returned to public life with remarkable courage, becoming a leading advocate for gun violence prevention and civic engagement. On behalf of CAPLA faculty, staff, and students, we are very proud to recognize Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords as CAPLA's Honorary Doctor of Letters recipient. Thank you.
I neglected to make one announcement earlier. If you're in this hall and you had family members or other people with you tonight who were having trouble getting in because of a misunderstanding about tickets, they should now all be in the hall. We ask that they all be admitted as we got underway. So I want to thank Nancy for that welcome to you all, and I now have the pleasure to introduce tonight's keynote speaker, Caroline Yonich. Caroline Yonich is an instructor in the real estate program in CAPLA, where she herself earned a Master of Real Estate Development in 2016. She previously served as Chief Operating Officer and partner at Iridius Capital, working in investor relations and real estate investment strategy. Currently, she runs Sophisticasa, a company she founded, which designs and operates a portfolio of vacation rental homes focused on thoughtful, detail-driven guest experiences. And I don't know about you, but I think I'm ready for one of those, so let's chat up Caroline afterwards. Please join me in welcoming Caroline Yonich to the lectern.
Good evening. I wouldn't be here tonight if it had all gone smoothly, and life would be far less interesting if I didn't still have so much yet to learn. 10 years ago, I was sitting where you are now as part of one of the first graduating classes of the University of Arizona Master in Real Estate Development program. The first job I landed after graduation can be traced directly back to a third-floor CAPLA East classroom. You know, the one shaped like a triangle. I was pitching an idea for a public market development project in downtown Tucson, and one of my classmates knew someone working on something similar. She arranged a lunch. Shortly after, at an industry event, the woman I met at lunch introduced me to a local developer. I followed up and invited him to lunch. That led to another introduction, to someone in development whose capital partner was hiring for an investor relations role. The job was near entry level, and I already had 10 years of experience. My after-tax income would barely cover the cost of the full-time nanny I would need to take the job. My daughters were 1 and 2 years old at the time. But I saw where the company was headed, and I believed in it. So I took the leap. I moved from investor relations officer to chief operating officer to partner. Over the next 7 years, we built something that felt meaningful, growing an investor base of more than 300 individuals and investing in nearly $2 billion of commercial real estate. None of that came from submitting a resume. It came from showing up, being curious, and following through. Shortly after graduation, I found myself sitting in a boardroom with some of the most respected developers in Tucson. My dress felt tight. I was anxious. I could barely breathe. I didn't think I deserved a seat at the table. But something shifted in that meeting. I realized that despite all the experience in the room, it wasn't a room filled with answers. It was filled with questions, and a group of people working together to solve them. That was the moment I understood you don't need to have all the answers to belong in the room. You need to be willing to engage with the problem. I was extraordinarily curious about development, and curiosity is a powerful force. It drives questions, which drive action, which leads to solutions. When I first applied to this program, I imagined myself doing creative work in placemaking. I ended up in finance. But what I found is that creativity isn't limited to design. It lives in problem solving. If you're curious about the problems in front of you and willing to do the work to solve them, you already deserve a seat at the table. After graduation, I watched people take very different paths. Some went looking for jobs, others went looking for projects. And when they found something compelling, they built teams and raised capital around their ideas, even without years of experience. A career path isn't the only path. A project can be a path too. If you have a vision, don't assume it needs to wait. Wherever your path takes you, you'll have to decide where your work fits into your life. If you follow your curiosity, your work can be one of the most fulfilling parts of your life. But don't let it become the only part. After 7 years of rapid growth, I hit a wall. Hard. My body stopped being willing to meet the demands I was putting on it. And I realized something I wish I had understood earlier. If you don't set your own limits, the universe has a way of setting them for you. Today, my life looks a little different. I left commercial real estate investing, but I'm still deeply connected to the built environment. I now design and operate a portfolio of vacation rental homes where my goal is to delight my guests by anticipating their needs before they know they have them. I connect my guests to Tucson, to its artists, its makers, its landscape. I'm also very honored to be back here at Capella as a lecturer in the real estate program. In a world where so much of life is happening on screens, the physical spaces we occupy and create matter more than ever. They determine how we live, work, connect, and recover. You are entering a field where your work will be felt physically, emotionally, daily. And that's an incredible responsibility. So as you move forward, I want to leave you with this. You're going to walk into rooms where you don't feel ready. You're going to face problems you don't yet know how to solve. And at some point, no one is going to be able to tell you what to do next. And sometimes it won't just be unclear, it will be complicated. There will be trade-offs, there will be pressure, there will be moments where the easier path is obvious, and the better path is harder to justify. You'll have to be willing to sit with the problem for a while, to stay curious, to do the work, to trust that you're capable of figuring it out. Because more often than you think, you can. It won't always be the easiest path. In fact, it usually isn't. But when it's right, you'll know. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Thank you so much, Caroline, for those inspiring words. As we continue today's celebration, I'd like to think that we all carry forward that spirit of curiosity, courage, and entrepreneurial thinking, and also self-reliance as we step forward to shape the future ahead. I'd like now to acknowledge our graduating CAPLA student ambassadors. These are, wait for it. These are students who, over time, have generously volunteered to lead tours, meet with prospective students, many of whom are going to arrive in the fall, assist with events, and a lot more. So today, 6 of our ambassadors are graduating, and I'd like to name them. Adedoyin Oduwale, Ryan Blake, Leslie Perez, Paula Salas, Dylan Tisdale, Ricky Mata, and Esmeralda Carrasco. I'm going to actually ask all those ambassadors to stand up and face the audience so that you can all see them and thank them. They do a lot of work for us. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the graduate student address. Unfortunately, due to a family emergency, Annalisa Cheshire, who was scheduled to give the address, is unable to join us in person this evening. So we're grateful to her friend and fellow Master of Architecture graduate, Kirsten Ellsworth, for delivering her remarks on her behalf. Annalisa, who wrote the remarks you're going to hear, is originally from Seattle, Washington. As a Master of Architecture student, she was awarded the Patricia Magadini Scholarship to support women in architecture, and also the William H. Cook FAIA Travel Scholarship. That travel scholarship allowed her to study abroad in France in the summer of 2024, where she learned about the impact of France's colonial exploitation and the integration of colonial imports on the culture of France. She traveled by foot and train to experience significant monuments and remnants of that history firsthand, and was introduced to historic and contemporary architecture that continues to inform her work. She's looking forward to returning to Seattle after many years away and is ready to apply her skills in pursuit of thoughtful, creative architectural work. Annalisa, if you're watching via live stream tonight, we do miss you here, and we wish you and your family all the best. Please welcome Kirsten to the lectern.
I wrote a speech before this one, and I burned it. I was sitting in my living room, looking out the window, writing this. There were 6 birds on a wire, and the wind was blowing. They were teetering back and forth, trying to keep their balance. Those birds are us, I thought. Then they all flew away, and my view was completely empty. It doesn't really matter what I say here today. I want to say something wild with the time I have been allotted, speaking at this huge institution of power, but it all just passes by, and no one thing or sentence or assignment or job is so important. It is all part of a brief and beautiful time on this earth. And it is important, it is exceedingly important what we do, because many people are not okay, and I am lucky enough to be here. I have been trying to translate the boldest of my youth into a diagram, an essay, a portfolio, a presentation, a job. That's what I want, to be courageous. It's a very different life that I am looking forward to than the one that I came from. I want to be myself here in the face of the institution. What does this degree do? Why am I still here, and why did I subject myself to this brutal program? I recently witnessed a professor I look up to providing the most kind feedback. I realized she loves people. She critiques structures, but loves people, and I want to love people too. I want to be courageous, to love people, to say something wild. I want to make stuff better so the world, the people, and animals don't suffer. I'm still here, and I'm going to try, because it's exceedingly important to use what I've gained alongside all of you to do something good. This goes out to the CAPLA graduating master's students, especially the ones whose futures look different from their pasts, and to the administrators and professors who love people enough to do this work, thank you. And most importantly, I dedicate this to my mom, the most courageous and loving artist I've ever known. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna, for writing that heartfelt reflection, and Kirsten for delivering it, and for reminding us that the value of the work we do is not only in what we create, but also in how we care for people, and care for communities, and care for the world around us. Now we come to the central events. I'm going to ask the graduating students from the Master of Real Estate Development, Master of Science in Urban Planning, Master of Landscape Architecture, Master of Science in Architecture, and Master of Architecture to make your way row by row to my stage right and backstage to line up for the hooding portion of tonight's ceremony. So, Master students, please rise. As the students make their way backstage, we honor a tradition that dates back over 8 centuries. And I can say that because I'm a medievalist. It's the hooding ceremony. So that's a hallmark of academic achievement indicated by the conferral of regalia, which is what you're going to see in just a minute. The master's gown that these students are wearing has long closed sleeves with square ends, and that was a mark of an elite person in the Middle Ages, with a slit at the elbow so they can move their arms. And the velvet edging of the master's hood that you're going to see bears the traditional blue-violet color for a CAPLA master's degree. Although we're not joined by all of our 2026 graduates tonight, we do celebrate with those who are present in person and via live stream. So to the graduates, once your name is called, please cross the stage and stand in front of your program chair to be hooded. After being hooded, continue walking across stage to receive your alumni scroll and congratulations from our dean and your school director. You'll then return backstage to have your photograph taken before returning to your seat. And I offer my thanks to my colleague Christy Currens, Associate Professor of Planning, who will be introducing the graduates tonight. As a reminder to the audience, please do not come forward to take photographs. We're going to take them for you, and you'll have opportunities after the event. And now, for the master's graduates of the College of Architecture, Planning, and Landscape Architecture.
Master of Real Estate Development, Grace Robinson. Taylor Caldwell. Bennett Gallery. Victor Johnson. Mark Bayshore. Stephen Ty Templeton. James Kennan Panther. Chloe Ileana Nisananoff. Jamie Kelly. Claudia Rafila Hadley. Andre Johnson. Master of Science in Urban Planning. Paul George Blazevich. Eric Bieber. Katie Buford. Emma Leinart. Leslie Ann Perez. Marcy Caballero Reynolds. Gade Sanchez. Sabrina Romero Moreno. Inya Seed. Carson Woodruff. Cole Harrelson. Alexander Ryan. Manuel Barcelo. Amanda Grant. April Putney. Amanda Lucero. Joy Kulo. Master of Landscape Architecture. Ashley Danforth. Quinn McIlvain. Akshaya Bharati. Julia Nunn. Renee Elizabeth Peters. Darren Jin. Kathleen Sandra O'Neill. Anne Maria Pongratz. Esmeralda Carrasco. Samuel John Pratt. Master of Science in Architecture. Alyssa Fink. Master of Architecture. Luba Mikaduk. Kirsten Ellsworth. Alondra Azurdia. Ana Ajewa Asafo. Shruti Pinumarti. Caitlin Diane Musette. Austin Flowdy. Samuel Goki. Jait Jun. Stephen Burkett.
We have a few minutes to wait until the last of the graduate students returns to their seats. So I'm going to take the time to tell you just a few recent news items about these folks. As part of an applied active transportation class, urban planning and sustainable built environment students partnered with UofA Parking and Transportation and the Office of Sustainability to help improve walking and cycling conditions on campus. If you've read the news recently, you know there are some issues there. After pedestrian interviews, on-site observations, and design proposals for 3 high-traffic corridors, they contributed much-needed ideas to make our university community safer, healthier, and better connected. As recipients of campus sustainability funding, landscape architecture students have led a multi-year initiative advancing green infrastructure, water conservation, and sustainable landscape practices across the university and surrounding communities, in partnership with organizations such as Pima County Flood Control and Tucson Clean and Beautiful. Through a climate impact assessment conducted in partnership with Tucson Unified School District, a Master of Science in Architecture student helped analyze how the district's buildings, energy use, and transportation systems contribute to greenhouse gas emissions. The research established a baseline for future sustainability efforts while introducing strategies to reduce emissions, lower energy costs, and support long-term climate resilience across the district. We're still waiting on a few last folks, I think. Before I present these master's students for degree conferral, I want to recognize 2 outstanding, outgoing program chairs for years of exceptional leadership stewarding their respective programs. Chris Trumbull, Chair of the Master of Architecture, and Arlie Atkins, Chair of the Master of Science in Urban Planning. Please, both of you, stand and be recognized. The folks in their programs on the stage could not have done it without them. All right, master students, please rise, if you will. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the College of Architecture, Planning, and Landscape Architecture and the University of Arizona, I congratulate you on your outstanding achievement. You are now class of 2026 master's degree recipients. Graduate alumni, you may now be seated. We're now going to turn to the undergraduate students in, yes, I know you've been waiting for this, in the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, Bachelor of Science in Sustainable Built Environments, and the Bachelor of Architecture. And for our undergraduate speaker, we welcome Linus Friedman to the stage. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him as he's making his way slowly out of his row. Linus hails from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and is graduating summa cum laude with dual degrees in Sustainable Built Environments and German Studies. And so Linus will understand when I say to him, ausgezeichnet, which means excellent. After graduation, he'll join Kimberly Horn as a transportation planning analyst. He's a recipient of a Drachman Institute Community Outreach and Impact Award, and additional recognition includes an honorable mention in the Southwest Urban Integrated Field Laboratory Interdisciplinary Design Challenge, as well as the Federation of German American Clubs Scholarship and the Benjamin A. Gilman International Scholarship. Thank you, Linus, for representing your fellow students today.
Good evening, everyone. As we come together to celebrate, it has been such an honor to be chosen as a student speaker. The commitment of the dean, our school director, Lori Johnson, and Capital's amazing faculty have created a truly transformative academic environment, one that I cannot thank you all enough for. To my mom, dad, brother, partner, friends, and other family here tonight, thank you for your unwavering support over the last 4 years. To my classmates and peers that make up the class of 2026, whether we know each other or just recognize each other's faces, thank you for being the core of Capital's community. The degree I share with many of you, Sustainable Built Environments, is a unique one. Its interdisciplinary nature brings together people of all interests and backgrounds. Some of us transferred in, others started here, and many have done the program entirely online. Our core classes have nonetheless brought us together, with every project allowing us to see the richness and diversity of thought within the program. After today, though, we branch back out into our interests, becoming planners, architects, sustainability leaders, and more. As young, eager graduates ready to start making change, I know everyone here will go on to do great things. Studying the built environment, we often look to solve our community's challenges through design solutions. But the truth is, design isn't everything. People and the bonds between them are just as important for combating the social issues of our time. In a world where our devices are always pining for our attention, building community is a powerful tool to ground us in the present and combat loneliness, division, and hate. If we all traded an hour of endless scrolling a week for time spent with neighbors, think of how much richer our lives would be. Creating a better city is as much a social as it is humanistic endeavor. Everything we create, from roads to buildings to cities, revolves most importantly around the people who make up our communities. Beyond our role as designers, we must never lose sight of our personal ability to create community. I implore every one of you, wherever you move after graduating, to meet people, make connections, and simply be amongst others. Thank you all, and congratulations to the class of 2026.
Thanks so much, Linus. It's important that we all remember that our best work is done with and on behalf of others. And I'll say on behalf of the faculty and staff and students that we in CAPLA are passionate about that social and ethical commitment. So we will now celebrate graduates of the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, Bachelor of Science in Sustainable Built Environments, and Bachelor of Architecture. Undergraduate students, please rise row by row and exit down the aisle toward the front, and then walk to the west wall, that way, to exit Centennial Hall and access the stage. When your name is called, please cross the stage to receive your alumni scroll, and congratulations from the dean, your school director, and the faculty program chair. Then you'll move off stage to your right to have your photograph taken before rejoining us in your seat. And thanks again to Christy Currens for introducing our undergraduates. So let us now proceed with our bachelor's degree recipients. Okay. Yeah. Never fear, it takes them a little while to get around to the stage. They're coming.
Chase Birch. Juan Pablo Estupina. Sid Fichter. Chase Lindsay. Paula Suarez Kors. Alexa Hopkins. Paulina Lescano Noriega. Miera Ballesteros. Isabella Santos. Diego Gomez. Jorge Leon. Aziz Morkutayev. Michael Atonia Lawson. Chukuka Michael Obi. Allison Castro Basurto. Isabella Tamor. Miranda Cortez. Mia Drusilla Faring. Abigail Power. Violet Dossie. Jazz Spangler. Danielle Covey. Elizabeth Allen. Jaden Barnum. Ashley Limbaugh. Julia Esslinger. Bachelor of Science in Sustainable Built Environments. Linus Friedman. America Blackketter. Elias Hitchcock. Omar Rosas Jr. Emma Wasco. Christopher Kuehl. Camilio Madsen. Jai Noel Pasquale. Valentine Mesa. David Aguilera Garoba. Jugal Patel. Soleil Lemons. Ava Mikic. Lourdes Rosario Camarillo. Sabrina Ashley Cereceres. Nena Udokalu. Vanessa Vance. Lauren Stock. Fallon Odo. Aris Gazilov. Michaela Waltman. Bianca Flores. Marcus Lopez. Molly Shaver. Billy Inman. Joseph Villardo. Katie Heath. Ella Bresnahan. McKenna Griffith. Logan Belko. Sonia Tran. Bachelor of Architecture. Preston Bagodi. Diego Hernandez. Mele Weishaupt. Anselmo Venus. Alexander Bonham. Darvel Fat. Anthony Rascone. Dennis Rayner. Ainsley Mellinger. Laurel Auer. Nora Evans. Ana Jocelyn Ponce. Sierra Minotti. Joy Chow. Donovan Chester. Julius Smith. Isabella Robledo Roman. Caitlin Tippett. Shadi Samir Rabadi. James Seidel. David Ader. William Giovanni Collins. Eduardo Jose Aguilar. Gabriel David Garcia. Kobe Suarez, Austria. Jeremiah Beltran. Aaron Rodriguez Figueroa. Morgan Gresseth. Paola Nicole Salas. Catherine Schneider. Stephanie Mildred Musto. Caroline Roser Dialma. Stella Burr. Grace Golden. Dylan Tisdale. Mason Chang. Tom Fang. Pinedo? Jacob Pinedo. Ryan Charles Blake. Ricky Arriaga Mata. Dayton Bay. Carson Dole. Michael Anthony Morales. Haley Alyssa Coffin. Kamiko Rose. Isabella Adriadni Keira Acapulcos. Jade Peleupu Cruze. Adedoyen Olahumuke Odawole. Skylar Ma. Eleon Moreno Campos. Lena Liu. Altaf Alduaning. Basil Aklineni. Dumana Bakari. Luisa Penas. Valerie Ramos. Maritza Noriega. Tiffany Sanchez. Marco Hernandez Solano. Chelsea Bernal. Sofia Silva Castellanos. Richard Bioka. Kendall Havlicek Lines. Paige Daniels. Charlotte Zeitlin. Noor Haddad. Francisco Sasueta. Khaled Alanese. Fernanda Taros Madero. Maria Aurora Martina Fernandez. Michelle Arzate. Abigail Martinez. Avery Berger. Quinlan Hartmeister. Perla Germani. Samantha Salvador Dimas. Megan Smith. Serena Warake. Gabrielle Diaz. Nayeli Bailey. Milagros Sunmi Norabuena Lac. Luis Falcon. Claudia Algavara.
There's a lot of love going around here. All right, while we're waiting for these folks to regain their seats, the last of them, I'm once again going to tell you a little bit more about what some of them have been doing. And I just can't tell you the pride that we, faculty and staff, take in the accomplishments of our students. It's incredibly exciting for us to work with them. So some of our undergraduate students have earned quite prestigious recognition, earning, for instance, top honors at the US Department of Energy Building's Next Student Design Competition, an international competition showcasing innovative and energy-efficient design. Interdisciplinary teams of students working under multiple faculty competed in the Bank of America Low-Income Housing Challenge, demonstrating a commitment to affordable, equitable housing solutions that respond to real community needs, and we need that. Others designed and built a prototype micro-shelter for unhoused people in Tucson, translating compassion into action through designs that center dignity and resilience. Yeah, that's right. Some students studied abroad in France and Italy, gaining firsthand understanding of complex histories informing the design of objects, buildings, and cities. Others traveled to Tokyo, gaining global perspectives on smart cities of the future, policymaking, and sustainable development. So I can't see very well. Are all those undergraduates back in their seats? Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. So undergraduate students, please rise, if you will, and face the audience. All right, now the moment of truth. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the College of Architecture, Planning and Landscape Architecture, and the University of Arizona, I congratulate you on your outstanding achievement. You may now transfer your tassels from the right to the left side of your mortarboards. Folks, this is the bachelor's class of 2026. All right, you may now be seated. We're almost done. I'm going to ask you to welcome Dean Nancy Pollock-Elwand back to the podium for closing remarks. Thank you.
Well, you were noisy, and I anticipated that, and you followed through. So thank you very much. We still have more noise to make, but CAPLA graduates, we look forward to following your journey, wherever your careers may take you. We want to hear your stories so we can boast. You know, we're your champions, the cheerleaders for you, as well as your family and friends. But we want to boast about you and spread the word of your good work to come. We also look forward to your participation in our alumni community. Our alumni family is one of our core strengths, and I think it's our superpower, actually, in this college. So as we close this evening's ceremony, I want to thank many people. So first of all, our keynote speaker, Caroline Janich. Thank you for your words. You're very inspiring. Thank you. Our Master of Ceremonies, Associate Dean, Academic Affairs, Laura Hollengreen. Thank you, Laura. Our school directors, Ryan Smith and Lori McMillan Johnson. Our hooding faculty, that was Margaret Livingston, who was who was a little challenged, I think, on some of the hooding. Daniel Kuhlman. Arlie Atkins. Arlie, we're going to miss you. And Christopher Trumbull. Our undergraduate program chairs, Claire Robinson. Philip Stoker, and Kirk Diamond. And I have to say a special thanks to our name reader, Christy Currens. She did a phenomenal job. And the other CAPLA faculty members, I want to thank you for joining us here on the stage this evening. I know it means an awful lot to me, the other administrators, as well as the students. You mean an awful lot to us, so thank you. Now I have a village to thank, which is our staff who've been all around this evening at the reception. So I'm going to first start with the person that has organized this whole thing is Jeff Javier. Nayeli Gonzalez, Jimmy Simpson, Emilio Romero, Matt Emery, Nettie Gupta, Lucas Guthrie. He's done a lot for you, I know. Jacob Clem, your advisors, Gretchen Lohr, Alessandra Lisot, Elaine Godoy, Alex Litchfield, Janet McFadden, Carmen Robles, Daniel Dubois, and Daniel Orozco, Jeff Guba, and our CAPLA student ambassadors who've been thanked already, but I want to thank you as well. You've done a phenomenal job throughout the year. You're fantastic. And thank you all as well. I want to thank the people that have helped us in this hall tonight, the Centennial Hall staff, the photographers from the University of Arizona Biocommunications, the University of Arizona IT, and the Disability Resource Center for making our event possible. Finally, may I have one more round of applause for these wonderful graduates. So congratulations, everyone. I actually have a little bit of housekeeping here. So we're now going to process out. Can I ask that the audience please remain seated as the faculty and the graduating students recess out of the auditorium. And then once you get to the lobby, keep on going outside because otherwise we'll have a traffic jam. But at any rate, everyone, thank you for joining us tonight. Have a wonderful rest of your career and lives. Graduates, as I said, I want you to keep in touch with us. This has been a wonderful convocation. Thank you very much.